Big success for Russia. A deadly terrorist plot busted at the last possible moment. Russian teenage girl turns into suicide bomber. Bag full of improvised explosive device detonated. His is the chilling moment when Russian law enforcement foiled what they called a planned terrorist attack by Ukraine on Russia's southern Rostov region. Russia's Federal Security Service, FSB, detained a 16-year-old Russian teenage girl for attempting to bring a homemade explosive device into a city administrative building. The details revolving around the teenage girl is shocking. She is a student in central Volgodonsk, was working on a Ukrainian plan. She was reportedly targeted by online scammers. So how was she arrested? Her large backpack made authorities suspicious. Bomb disposal specialists confirmed that an improvised explosive device was inside the bag. The seized IED was equivalent to 10 kilograms of TNT, as per Russian agency. What is more shocking is that the backpack had screws, nuts, and nails, along with an electronic timing mechanism. FSB revealed that the teenage girl told investigators she had collected the backpack from a hidden stash on the outskirts of Volgodonsk. The agency added that her testimony indicated she had been duped by online scammers about a month earlier and narrowly avoided becoming a suicide bomber. Meanwhile, an officer in a heavy blast-resistant suit safely detonated the backpack placed on a city square, preventing what could have been a devastating explosion. The agency stated the planned terrorist attack had been prepared by the security services of the Kiev regime. Earlier this week, the agency warned that Kiev increasingly relied on phone scam operations to recruit Russian citizens, mainly teenagers and the elderly, to carry out terrorist acts. Moscow says this is part of a wider campaign, alleged plots against government officials, military commanders, opinion leaders, and critical infrastructure. The incident comes as Russia's defense minister, Andrei Belousov, claims Ukraine has lost nearly 500,000 troops, that its defensive lines are collapsing, and that Western backers are fully aware of Kiev's deteriorating battlefield position.
For the entire year, the armed forces have confidently maintained the strategic initiative conducting active offensive operations on virtually all fronts. As Vladimir Vladimirovich noted, over the year more than 300 settlements have been liberated, over 6,000 square kilometers of territory. This exceeds last year's figures by a third. Furthermore, the advance rates of the Vostok Center and West troop groups have increased by 1.5 to 2 times compared to 2023. Behind these figures lies a significant qualitative result. The Kursk region has been successfully liberated, and crucial defense strongholds of Ukrainian forces in both Donbas and Zaporizhia have been effectively eliminated. Ultimately, what had been evident from the very beginning has now been fully confirmed: the inevitable collapse of the Ukrainian armed forces' defenses. And finally, even Kyiv's Western patrons are now clearly and distinctly aware of this undeniable reality. The northern group of forces, the major border city of Volchansk, has been liberated, and the establishment of a security zone in the Kharkiv and Sumy regions is ongoing. As a result, the threat of enemy invasion into the Belgorod, Kursk, and Bryansk regions has been significantly diminished. This has now made it possible to commence the demining of these territories. Over 150,000 hectares have already been cleared, and nearly 3 million explosive devices destroyed. The restoration of social and economic infrastructure in border regions has begun. This creates the conditions for the normalization of a peaceful civilian life for citizens. The West Group of Forces has successfully taken control of the strategically important city of Kupiansk, which the enemy has been repeatedly and unsuccessfully attempting to reclaim. This city served as a crucial supply route for Ukrainian armed forces units. Its capture will allow us to significantly expand the security zone within the Kharkiv region and effectively reduce the threat of shelling by the enemy against the northern districts of the LPR. At present, the surrounded grouping is being eliminated on the left bank of the Oskil River, to the east of Kupiansk. The operation to take control of the city of Krasny Liman is currently underway. Its liberation opens the way for the blockade of Sloviansk, which is a vital logistical hub for the Ukrainian armed forces. The southern group of forces, in the course of their offensive operations, has captured powerful enemy strongholds: Chasiv Yar, Kurakova, and Siversk. Currently, battles are underway for the city of Konstantinovka. It is the key to the last stronghold of the Kiev regime in Donbas, the Druchkovka, Kramatorsk, Sloviansk agglomeration. The capture of this position will allow the liberation of the Donetsk People's Republic to be completed quickly. The center group of forces has taken full control of the city of Krasnoarmysk, which had served as a significant symbol of resistance for both the Ukrainian army and its Western backers. The systematic destruction of Ukrainian units is continuing in Dimitrov, which represents the last remaining pocket of AFU defense within the Krasnoarmysk urban agglomeration. The enemy forces in the city are now reliably blocked. The capture of Krasnoarmysk and Dimitrov will be the biggest defeat for Ukraine's army in Donbass recently. The Vostok group is rapidly advancing deep into enemy defenses in Zaporizhzhia and Dnipropetrovsk regions. Since the 1st of November of the current year, the group has brought under its control more than 400 square kilometers of land, and 24 populated areas have been freed. The liberation of Huliaipol city continues. It is a crucial fortified area for the AFU and a key transport hub, whose seizure will enable the creation of conditions for the complete liberation of the entire Zaporizhzhia region. The Dnipro troop grouping is advancing in the Orikhiv direction, has taken control of the settlement of Mala Tokmachka, and is engaged in fighting on the approaches to Orikhiv city. The capture of this particular settlement will establish advantageous conditions for the continued progression of the offensive in the northwestern part of the Zaporizhzhia region. Furthermore, the forces of the group are securely holding the Dnipro Island area and are repelling persistent enemy attempts to conduct amphibious landings on the Tendra and Kinburn Spitze. Overall, due to the successful operations of the joint forces this year, the combat potential of the Ukrainian armed forces has been reduced by 1/3. Firstly, they lost over 103,000 various types of armaments and military equipment, including approximately 5,500 of Western manufacture. This is almost 2 times higher than the indicators of 2024. At the same time, Ukraine's security forces have lost nearly 500,000 servicemen, which has caused Kyiv to lose its ability to replenish its units through forced mobilization of citizens. Secondly, the capabilities of the Ukrainian military-industrial complex for the serial production of military goods have been reduced by almost half. It's worth pointing out that the effectiveness of Russia's precision strikes is approximately 60%, which is an order of magnitude higher than the effectiveness of Ukrainian strikes on Russian territory. This year's recruitment plan has been overfulfilled. Nearly 410,000 citizens voluntarily joined contract military service. Almost 2/3 of them are young people under 40. More than 1/3 have higher or specialized secondary education.